You ever sit down to study, stare at a pile of books, and feel like time is slipping through your fingers while you still have no idea where to begin? Because deep down you know it's not about how hard you study, but how wisely you plan, and that quiet pressure in your chest keeps reminding you that exams are getting closer, yet your direction feels completely unclear. But what if I told you that in just one focused hour, you could build a study schedule so clear, so personal, and so effective that it removes confusion entirely and replaces it with calm control? Because the truth is, most students don't fail due to lack of effort. They fail because they never pause long enough to design a system that actually works for them. And right now, this moment is your chance to change that pattern by stepping back and realizing that a perfect study schedule isn't about copying someone else's routine or forcing yourself into unrealistic hours. It's about understanding your own time, your own energy, and your own priorities. Because when you begin with awareness, everything else starts to align naturally. So the first shift you must make is to stop thinking of studying as a chaotic reaction to exams and start seeing it as a deliberate strategy, almost like preparing for a mission where every move has a purpose. And as you sit with that thought, imagine the relief of waking up each day, knowing exactly what subject you're focusing on, how long you'll study it, and why it matters, because clarity eliminates hesitation. And hesitation is often the biggest thief of progress. So instead of jumping straight into books, the smartest students take a blank page and map out their reality, listing every subject they need to cover, every topic that demands attention, and every deadline that is quietly approaching, not to overwhelm themselves, but to bring everything into the light where it can finally be organized. Because once you see the full picture, something powerful happens. Your mind stops exaggerating the difficulty and starts breaking it into manageable parts. And that is where confidence begins, not from knowing everything, but from knowing what to do next. And as you move through this process, you start to realize that time isn't your enemy. It's actually your greatest resource when used with intention, because even a single hour of focused planning can save you dozens of hours of confusion later. And this is the moment where you stop drifting and start directing your effort with purpose. Because the difference between stress and control is simply having a plan that makes sense to you. And right now, you are beginning to build exactly that foundation. One decision at a time, one clear thought at a time, turning uncertainty into structure and pressure into quiet determination that will guide everything you do next. But here is where most students make a mistake that quietly destroys even the best intentions. Because after listing everything out, they rush into creating a schedule that looks perfect on paper, but completely ignores reality. And that is where frustration begins to grow, because a plan that does not respect your actual limits will eventually collapse under pressure. And you will blame yourself instead of recognizing that the system was flawed from the start. So now you must slow down and ask a deeper question. Not how much you can study, but how much you can sustain consistently without burning out. Because consistency always beats intensity in the long run, and this is the moment where your schedule becomes personal, not idealistic. Because you start assigning time based on your real energy patterns, noticing when your focus is strongest and when it naturally fades. And instead of fighting that rhythm, you begin to work with it, placing your hardest subjects in your peak hours and saving lighter review tasks for moments when your energy dips. And this simple adjustment can completely transform how productive your day feels, because you are no longer forcing your mind, you are guiding it. And as you begin allocating time blocks to each subject, something unexpected may happen. You might realize that there isn't enough time to cover everything the way you originally planned. And that realization can feel uncomfortable, almost like a quiet panic rising inside you. But this is not a failure. This is clarity. Because now you are finally facing the truth. And truth gives you power, because it forces you to prioritize, to decide what truly matters and what can be simplified, postponed, or even removed. And this is where discipline is born, not from doing everything, but from choosing wisely. And as you refine your schedule, cutting out unrealistic expectations and focusing only on what moves you forward, you begin to feel a shift, a sense of control returning, because your plan is no longer overwhelming. It is achievable. And yet, right at this stage, a subtle doubt may try to creep in, whispering that maybe this still won't be enough, that maybe you are already too late. And this is the exact moment where most people give up, not because they cannot succeed, but because they allow fear to interrupt their progress. And if you listen closely, you will realize that this doubt is not based on facts. It is based on past habits, on times when you delayed, when you guessed, when you avoided structure. But this time is different, because now you are building something intentional, something clear, something that is designed to guide you step by step. And as you look at your schedule taking shape, you begin to understand that success is not hidden in some distant future. It is quietly being built right here, in this 1 hour of focused planning, where every decision you make is removing chaos and replacing it with direction. And even though the path ahead may still feel long, you are no longer lost. You are moving forward with purpose, and that changes everything. And now, as your schedule stands complete in front of you, something subtle yet powerful begins to settle within your mind, because what once felt like a storm of uncertainty has now transformed into a clear path that you can actually follow, step by step, day by day, without second-guessing every move. And this is where the real transformation begins, not in the act of planning itself, but in the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are no longer relying on motivation alone. Because motivation fades, it rises and falls with your emotions, but a well-designed schedule remains steady, guiding you even on the days when you don't feel like trying. And that is the hidden strength you have just created in one focused hour. A structure that supports you when your energy is low and amplifies you when your focus is strong. And as you begin to follow this plan, you will notice something important. Progress becomes visible, not dramatic or sudden, but consistent and real, like a slow climb that no longer feels impossible, because each completed session becomes proof that you are moving forward, and that proof replaces doubt with belief, and belief changes how you show up every single day. And yet, there will still be moments when distractions appear, when old habits try to pull you back into procrastination, when the comfort of delay feels more tempting than the effort of discipline. But now you are different, because you have a roadmap, and every time you choose to follow it, even imperfectly, you strengthen your ability to stay on track. And over time, that ability becomes a habit, and that habit becomes your advantage, because while others are still guessing what to do next, you are already taking action, guided by clarity rather than confusion. And as your exam days approach, you will feel a kind of calm that once seemed impossible, not because the exams are easy, but because you are prepared in a way that most people never allow themselves to be. And in that moment, you will realize that success was never about studying longer hours or pushing yourself to exhaustion. It was about designing a system that works with you, not against you, and trusting that system enough to follow it consistently. Because when preparation meets clarity, pressure loses its power over you, and what remains is focus, direction, and a quiet sense of control that carries you through. Even the most challenging moments. So remember this. The hour you spent planning was not just about organizing your study time. It was about changing the way you approach effort, discipline, and growth. And that shift will stay with you far beyond any single exam, shaping how you handle challenges in every area of your life, one decision at a time, one action at a time, building a future that is no longer based on chance, but on intention and purpose. And if you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notifications so you can see our new videos early.